Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week we've got Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy. Hi, everyone. Josh here. And as you notice that Jimmy didn't say hello, and that's because this first little bit of his recording was lost to the ether. So the first third of this podcast is just me and Joe talking. And sometimes there's some awkward silences because we may or may not be listening to Jimmy. I cut some of it out, but some of it had to stay because that's just how I edited it. So if you want more Jimmy, just wait up. He'll be back in the second part for the first episode, but don't worry, Jimmy's been reprimanded heavily, and he'll never do it again. He's sorry he has failed you. Back to the show. We are First and Last podcast.
I was trying to say it at the same time as you.
Oh, yeah.
Edit it so we're saying that at the same time.
Not doing it. Not happening. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of this podcast. If we're gonna switch things up, doing it differently. If you want to make show suggestions or anything of the sort, you can hit us up at FNL Podcast on the Gmail or on the Twitter, and shoot those our way. I think 2 weeks ago we had a nice show suggestion by one of our listeners. We did it. We like to do them. Today, it's Joe's birthday.
Woo! By the time you're listening to this, I'm 33 and 2 weeks old.
Nailed it. But so we're doing a show Joe picked as we were all searching for shows today because we came ill prepared.
Yeah. My one birthday wish was to do this show. It was the only thing I wanted.
It was mostly like, hey, Joe, we normally podcast on this night, but it's your birthday. And you were like, I don't have any other plans.
Would that I could make plans, but if I were to make plans, it would just be like watching TV via Zoom with my bros. So like, I guess we're just doing this.
Any normal year, we'd like go to a restaurant and have birthday dinner or do a real thing with people. But but this is not the year. This is the year of don't be near humans. and many other things. Joe, how does this podcast work for the people that only came here for your birthday?
People are just like, I need to hear that birthday pod. We take a TV show, typically one we haven't seen or at least haven't seen all the way through, and just watch the first episode and only the last episode. Nothing in between. We make wild accusations about what happens in between, but we never see it.
I predict murder. And what show are we doing, Joe?
So today we picked Saved by the Bell. I was gonna say First and Last, but like, we already talked about that. Saved by the Bell. The
yes.
Zach Morris et al. Teen sitcom. We're all so excited, we just can't hide it.
Well, and this one this is a weird one, so right away we'll get this part off. That there's a prequel show, and that is streaming on Hulu in the Saved by the Bell package in Hulu called Good Morning Miss Bliss, which is essentially like not Saved by the Bell season 1 proper, but when the show went into syndication, they kind of put it in the package, so it's in the package of Saved by the Bell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what I read real quick, it looks like they developed this pilot for this show, Good Morning Miss Bliss, for NBC. They passed on it, and then it was picked up by Disney, and then after that, NBC decided to pick it back up again, but they just wanted to shake up some things, so they rebranded it as Saved by the Bell.
Right. It seems like Good Morning Miss Bliss was focusing on a teacher
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the main character. And then obviously it seems like then when they went to Saved by the Bell proper, it was then focusing on the students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mostly.
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, quick peek, like Zach Morris and like Screech are in Good Morning Miss Bliss. I don't know if what is her name? Kelly Kapowski? Is that what's? Yeah, Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah. Looks like Jaleel White was in Good Morning Miss Bliss.
What? When was the when did family start mattering?
Jaleel White as Bobby Wilson.
I mean, I guess I could see that because the Good Morning Miss Bliss was 1987, 88 to 89, essentially.
Uh-huh.
There was a pilot in mid 87, but then
Right.
the 13 episode season was 88 to 89,
Mm-hmm.
and Family Matters started in 89.
Right.
So got some
Man.
Miss Bliss gave him some exposure,
Yeah.
and then Jaleel.
I wonder if they could be an Urkel prequel too.
That'd be fun. Oh my god, if he was Urkel in that show. Isn't Urkel like we've discussed this, but yeah, isn't Urkel like in other shows?
Yeah, he shows
Was
up in
that-
a bunch
was
of
that step,
ABC
was that
shows.
Step by Step?
Yeah, I think Step by Step. He like shows up
Shit,
at a
it takes-
dance or something.
Yeah, in like the
Yeah.
second episode or something.
Yeah. They're definitely trying to like get that rub.
So weird. So
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, so we're gonna start with season. If you're on Hulu, it's season 2 technically, but it's season 1 of Saved by the Bell proper, and that first episode is just called "Dancing to the Max," which who in the world knows what that means?
I think the Max like the Max is where they used to hang out, right?
Yeah. Okay. So first off, number one, I don't know if this includes. I didn't look enough. Saved by the Bell went 4 seasons, 86 episodes. I think that includes Good Morning Miss Bliss.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then it was. I don't know what I'm saying after that, but that's what it was on. 80. Good Morning Miss Bliss was 88 to 89, and then Saved by the Bell were the years following that, 89 to 83. 93. It went backwards in time, 89 to 83.
Yeah, 1 season of college years.
Well, yeah. And then there was also something called The New Class, and that ran from 93 to 2000. It said it was a Saturday morning series that follows a new group of students at Bayside High. So,
As advertised.
yeah, it was better. It was better than Saved by the Bell.
Oh my gosh.
It went longer. I mean, it went longer. It had to be better, right? That's how things work.
There's a reboot airing later this year on like the Peacock streaming network. I'm going to read the plot directly off Wikipedia. It says the series will center around a new group of Bayside High students from overprivileged and working class families, among the latter of which were transferred to the school as part of a plan by now California Governor Zach Morris, whose administration experiences controversy for closing too many low-income schools to send lower-income students to high-performing schools in the state.
Wait, so like Zach Morris is like the villain in this one?
I don't know. Like, yeah, like Zach like shut down a bunch of like low-income schools and then shoved those students into like these like overprivileged schools, as they describe it.
So, and like probably technically forcing them to be like over capacity or something. Like,
Just like, yeah.
just
made all
fund
the
the other
all
just
made
fund
all
the
of them
other
shitty.
schools, man. Jeez.
Yeah. Instead of half good schools, half bad schools, what if we just had all bad schools? And save some money. Yeah. Yeah, that could be problematic.
Well, we're not watching that one, so we're fine. We're not watching Governor Zach
I want to
ruin
like
the world.
I want to switch gears and just watch that instead, but it's not even out yet.
They got you hooked already.
Yeah. Oh man.
I can't wait to watch that and find out what happens in Dancing to the Max. What do you think? What do you think goes down?
They're all learning a choreographed max dance. which is a dance that they're doing at the place they hang out.
So the Max is a place to hang out. I don't even know. I know they had like that like Angel Grove type kid hangout shop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm legitimately thinking that Saved by the Bell to me is just gonna feel like Power Rangers, except all the good parts about Power Rangers are gone.
Yeah, no Zords for sure.
Yeah, just no like Power Rangers, but no Zords.
Yeah, and their Zordon is like their principal now.
Yeah. Go to class, children. I'm from another world. I'm only a head.
Did you guys have like what was your like high school hangout spot?
Like the actual spot where like the kids all went?
Yeah, I'm talking about like where's a spot where like 14 to 16-year-olds go to like get some pizza and some shakes or something. Or did you not really have a
Did we have that? I'm like trying to like think. I'm like, I don't know if we had that. It was pretty small. Like grown. It was a town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way bigger now.
We had Garibaldi's, which is like a fast casual Italian spot. And they had this deal where you could get like a large cheese pizza and a large soda for $10. So like me and 3 friends would like go and like get this $10 deal and just like share a large soda and a pizza together. Just like sipping out of the same cup and stuff.
I would say there was various places that we would like go hang out, but I feel like none of them were like an actual like establishment. They were just like our friend's basement, and then after and then right before Wendy's would close, we'd go through the drive-through and then go back to the basement.
So more like that 70s show and less like Save to the Bell.
Yeah. Some of the neighboring towns had like kids coffee shops, kind of like, you know, that were like more like youth oriented, but it wasn't like specifically in our town. So those were like things we would go to when like our friends' bands were playing a show, you know, and stuff like that.
I guess we used to go to Baker Square a lot too. That one's open late. Yeah, get some pie. Get some shitty food.
You know that episode in It's Always Sunny where they have to dance? They have to do a dance off to save the bar.
And like they can't stop moving. Is that
and they dance off? Yeah, that one. I think that's what's happening in this episode.
Oh my gosh!
I think they are dancing off to save the Max. Or like a fundraiser or something. But it's like a dance competition, but not in like a you got cool moves, but in just like you have to keep dancing.
Just keep shaking that thing.
You gotta just, as long as there's a wiggle, you're dancing. It counts. So that's what's happening in there. I think they're gonna right away hit us with a will they won't they with Zach and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that's I think that's just automatic from the beginning. And someone catches a football.
Okay.
And that's what I got for this episode.
I hope someone like throws a pass, but then just like the guy just totally whiffs it.
Well, then that guy will let me down. All right. Well, let's go into that first episode of Saved by the Bell called Dancing to the Max. If for some reason you haven't heard Jimmy talk for a little bit, that's because he doesn't know how to work technology. Yeah.
This episode, we've actually left space for the user or the listener to just be the third part of this episode and just speak up if you hear silence.
It's okay. If you got headphones in and you're sitting at your desk at work or something like that, just start talking like you're involved in this podcast. It'll be okay. So, okay. Well, let's get to that first episode and we will see you after that. And we're back. We're done with the first episode of Saved by the Bell called Dancing to the max. Do you have a write-up, Jimmy?
You know, I knew you were gonna do that to me.
Sometimes I do it every time.
The IMDb write-up is this: Casey Kasem hosts a dance contest at the Max.
Okay, let's start from there anyway. I'm going to be honest. Who's Casey Kasem? I know the name.
Are you serious?
But like I saw the dude and I was like, I don't recognize
well,
you.
he's more a voice. He's more a recognizable voice to me. He was a radio personality.
Okay.
Yeah, Casey Kasem's top 40.
Yeah,
I've heard the name before and I could guess they did radio. Is that what they were basically doing when he was hosting it?
I mean, it's a dance, so you got to see it, right?
Yeah, I thought maybe they were like doing like a radio broadcast with the dance as well, you know?
Yeah, the Casey Kasem element was weird. It's just like...
That also is very similar to it was a radio station that came in on the Always Sunny episode.
Oh, yeah.
So
where the gang dances their asses off.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the name of that episode. It's a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, they just got renewed for their 15th season, which is the longest live-action comedy of all time. Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
15.
I was trying to say how Supernatural was a comedy, but I couldn't come up with an excuse. So what else happened in this episode?
The big thing like surrounds that dance contest, but then it starts off with because they're dancing in pairs. I guess it's pairs dancing. So
the fruit.
Yeah, it's just fruit. Zach and Slater both want like Kelly to be their partner, so they're kind of tussling over that. And like Screech wants to be partners with Lisa, but Lisa wants no parts of him. And Jessie, is looking for a partner, but is insecure because she's so much taller than everybody else.
And she's growing by the second.
Yeah, she's just grown and grown and grown. Which I assume they're all supposed to be like freshmen at this point. They're all like 15.
I mean, maybe. Slater's 23 years old.
Yeah. Slater is There's a scene where Screech and Slater are like sitting like in their gym uniforms, like in the locker room, and they just like it looks like a man and his son. Like they're just not they're not the same age. And then like that prompted me to look up their ages, and like Mario Lopez was 17 at the time of filming, and
oh wow,
and Dustin Diamond, who plays Screech, was 12.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of makes sense that they just look very different.
Huh.
But yeah. So that's kind of the central conflict, and like Zach can't dance. And so he has enlisted Jessie to teach him how to dance. And so they end up at the end. You end up at the dance off with Slater and Kelly, and Zach and Jessie, and Screech and Lisa. Should we talk about the characters? Does everybody remember the characters to Saved by the Bell?
I mean, I think Screech and Lisa, I think the entirety of the season, their whole plot is just Screech chasing after Lisa and Lisa not having it. That's their whole character development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Character-wise, I mean, Zach is the main character, presumably in the show.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I'd say he's the main because he does some breaking of the fourth wall. I don't think anyone else does that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he did that one time.
One
time he turned to the camera and was like, "That was a pretty funny joke that my friend made," or whatever. I don't even remember what he said, but I was like, "What?"
I'd predict if I were a betting man, I'd predict in the finale that we get a bunch of Zach breaking the fourth wall.
I mean, did you predict that?
Well, not yet, but we haven't gotten there.
And then there's Kelly, who's, I don't know,
Kelly Kapowski.
she's like the pretty popular girl that
Yeah.
all the boys want.
She's
hang out with.
she's desirable, and that's the extent of her
Yeah.
character, at least for this pilot.
Well, I don't know, because I specifically noted that Kelly is mean.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
to
she
whom?
was ripping on Jesse a
who?
little bit.
Every girl. She
I
was
think
so,
she was. I think she was ribbing Jesse.
I don't think she delivered the ribbing very well. I feel like it sounded mean. Like,
Yeah, ribbing as in like just like made fun of her one insecurity. Yeah.
yeah, Jesse was like, I'm very insecure about this. And then Kelly went on to make about 3 or 4 jokes about it.
Yeah, but like you do.
And then that was that. And then she was also mean to Lisa. When Lisa, Banjo Bjorn, what was that guy's name? The kid that was gonna go to the dance with Lisa.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that kid's name.
He said,
Yeah.
"Oh, because she hurt her foot because she kicked a TV." Also, by the way, she was like,
Well,
"I'll
that's
be
a
fine."
dumb thing to do.
Well, yeah, she's like, "I'll be fine," and he was like, "I can't take the risk." So the Benjamin or whatever his name was like, I gotta dump you and go to the dance with a different girl. So then Screech gotta be. He was like, he ran off with her, but before he did that, Kelly said something to Lisa as well, just like something like snide, and I was like, God, you're mean. And it was like, you're only mean to girls too. Like, she wasn't mean to like Zach or Slater. I don't even think she even looked at Screech.
Yeah,
So-
she just doesn't
No.
even see Screech.
Yeah.
What if this whole show went by and they never talked and you never?
That makes me want to
Noticed
watch this
it.
whole show until they talk. I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch Save by Bell
Oh my
until
God.
those two talk.
He like says stuff to her, but she just talks right past him to other people.
Yeah, that'd be funny. And then there's Slater and Jesse. Slater's the one that looks like an adult man,
Yeah.
and
Like Jessie looks like an
Mhm.
adult too. Like she's also 17.
yeah, and
Mhm.
17, and she according to the pilot this episode, Jesse is the insecure tall girl. That's
Mhm.
what she is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
They didn't really I guess Zach made her feel comfortable by going to the dance with her or whatever, and being
Yeah,
cool
she
with it.
is a great dancer, but she doesn't want to go because of her insecurity. And I think they use her a lot in this show. I think for those adolescent insecure things. Like she probably gets acne at some point,
Yeah.
and doesn't she have a drug problem at one
Yeah,
point?
that's the I'm so excited,
Like a
I'm so
prescription?
scared thing. No, she gets hooked on caffeine pills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess caffeine's a drug. So.
It's a hell of
I
a
mean,
drug.
You take too many, those will mess you up.
Yeah.
And then the last is there's Mr. Belding,
Yeah.
who's
Mm.
the principal that he didn't have to. He was just he was obviously the principal, and he was getting a weird amount of airtime,
Mhm.
but he didn't have he didn't have any interaction with the kids at all, did he?
I don't think so. Just with Casey Kasem. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not even
just a
a
goof.
relationship there yet. Was Mr. Belding in the prequel?
Miss Bliss, I think he was. Yeah.
Okay. So people already know who he is.
Yeah.
Then, most likely.
I don't think you
Okay.
mentioned Screech, but I think by just saying the name Screech, you get it.
Oh yeah.
It's a kid named Screech.
Mhm.
If you've never seen the show, it's exactly what you picture in your head.
Screech was the child in the two of them talking in the.
Yeah, he's Slater's son.
He was Screech is Slater's son. So also there was a band scene that we probably should talk
Yeah,
about.
there's a band teacher.
like a
and I don't know if
way-
we see him much, but
The way too long band scene. That was half the episode was them playing Ode to Joy or whatever.
Yeah.
I was gonna go back and see how long. I was gonna like just note how long it was, but I didn't do it before we started recording again.
If I were to literally describe what happens in that scene, is like they're all in like band class or orchestra or whatever, and like all the kids we know are in this orchestra, and they're playing something that the teacher is conducting, and every now and then he'll like walk out of the classroom while he's conducting, and then while he walks out, they do something crazy, like they either like play like a jazzed up version of the song, or like Jesse gets up and starts dancing, and then they go back to playing the normal boring version when he comes back, and they do this like 3 times. Yeah.
And then he came in and he started wanted them to like go a little faster, and then kept speeding up past. They were playing perfectly now. Mm-hmm. The first time they've been playing perfectly in front of him, and they keep going faster and faster until he can't keep up. And they like run him out of the room.
Yeah.
It was like Looney Tunes almost.
It was so weird. Especially for like a pilot episode, like I kept wondering like, why does this scene exist? And then when it kept going, I kept like, why is this still going? Like, it's just wacky shenanigans. Like, we don't learn anything about the characters. It's not even particularly funny or like interesting to watch.
Yeah, right. Is this a good time for me to tell you the 4 reasons why this is Power Rangers?
Yeah.
There's never a bad time.
Number 1, they have a kids hangout spot, like the, coffee shop or whatever in Angel Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, they do a lot of like dancing / kung fu moves. Like Slater's like dance every time was like basically just Red Ranger kung fu.
He
like
does have a very Red Ranger vibe.
Yeah. They have the band scene's a good one to do, but there was other weird things. But they have like Bulk and skull type crazy shenanigans with like music and stuff. So the band one is like one of those. It felt like a cartoon.
It did, yeah.
And that's very like Bulk and Scully, and then the other one is, the other thing we didn't talk about was Jessie's dream, daydream thing that she had, where she was in like a black void talking to like some random boy about her like insecurities. But that almost felt going to like Lord Zed's moon base, like villain plot line, like like that thing. Also, then finally there's 6 of them, which in general means 5 regular Rangers and a special 6th Ranger.
Okay.
That Ranger is just here right away instead of they have to find him mid-season. Mm-hmm. They didn't waste time.
Zach is red. AC's black.
I think I agree so far.
Screech is blue.
Yeah.
100%.
Lisa's yellow.
Yep.
Kelly's pink.
Obviously.
And then Jesse's Green Ranger. Or Alpha 5.
I think that fits. I think Jesse is formidable.
Yeah. And kind of a wild card.
Yeah.
Right,
I'll be honest. I think I might say Jesse skips Green Ranger and goes straight to White Ranger. Tommy. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to see the progression. Maybe like Miss Bliss is Green Ranger.
Yeah. Who knows?
She does seem like the most powerful of the Bayside kids. Like, she seems very smart. She's the best dancer, obviously. She's taller than everyone.
Yeah, we're just keep going right back to that. Her insecurities.
But this is a pro. This is the reason. These are good things now.
Yeah, so she can reach things up high.
Belvedere Zordon? No, Belvedere is Alpha 5.
We haven't been introduced to Zordon yet.
It's Casey Kasem.
Yeah, Casey Kasem. He's just a voice. Yeah.
See, I told you. Saved by the Bell is just Power Rangers without the morphin.
That's solid.
There you go. We should download all the Saved by the Bell episodes and all the Power Rangers episodes and cut them into each other, so then we can make a regular Saved by the Bell episode have morphin. stuff.
Mind blown. You could just literally cut in all the Japanese stuff like they literally did for Power Rangers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's this would be $1 million idea if it wasn't fraught with copyright legality stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, you could cut that entire like band scene and just put in like a scene where they fight some putties and then end up back at the dance.
Right? Yeah. But you keep the music going.
Yeah.
Like, so good. Back to Saved by the Bell.
Is it worth saying that Screech and Lisa end up winning even though Lisa sprained her ankle?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good.
Credit where it's due. Also, I thought that was I thought that was the best dance.
That was a nice spin. Yeah.
I thought she was like gonna fake having a hurt foot for like half the dance, and then gradually go into like, nah, tricked you.
She's stomping.
Yeah, and it just goes into her stomping 4 on the floor.
It was impressive. She did a dance hobbling around on one foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was it. It was, I don't know. There's no new person introduced. I feel like this is the first episode, but it is heavily all by that prequel season, basically.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even pretend like the people tuning in didn't know who all these characters were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I think that's fine. I mean, if there's something, unconventional technically as a quote unquote pilot, but for this scenario, it works really well.
So this version of this show ended in 95? Is that what you said?
93.
93. So I'm just thinking, I may never have seen this show not in syndication. I mean, did I watch this show in 2nd grade? Probably not, right?
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what you did.
Because that would explain not knowing about the Miss Bliss stuff. Because if they just packaged it all,
yeah, treat it all as one show.
If all the reruns are just one show, then
Exactly.
Interesting.
I didn't put it into my predictions like I should have, but I was sad that no one caught a football in this first episode like I had wanted. Should we get into predictions, or do we have any more to say about this pilot?
I think Kelly is rather nice. That's what I'd like to say.
Kelly's nice.
That's because you're a boy, Jimmy, and she's nice to boys.
I think Tiffany Amber Thiessen would be very nice in real life.
Well, yeah, but that's not who I'm judging. I'm judging the character Kelly Kapowski.
All right, fine.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah, I feel good about mine.
Do them. Lay it on us.
Okay, so I think we can all assume it's graduation. Like 4 seasons, they're freshmen. Like it's gonna be graduation. So that's not even a prediction I'm making. That's just fact. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, I didn't put graduation either.
Yeah,
but
I did, but I'll fill it with something else.
So yeah, all my predictions, are with the assumption that it is graduation. But so my first one is that Jesse's the valedictorian, because obviously White Ranger action.
God, it's gonna be Kelly, and you're not gonna believe the universe. You know?
yeah, it won't make sense. I think there's a new kid that has more lines than Lisa. Like I think they've pared back Lisa's character and pushed this new kid.
Phase her out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
I think there's a food fight.
I'm into it.
So if someone throws an ice cream cone, that's food fight. And then this one takes maybe a little bit of explaining, but I think that Mr. Belding could conceivably be a serial killer. Like I'm not saying he is a serial killer. I don't think that gets confirmed, but I think that if we took the clues of the things that Mr. Belding is doing in this episode, if we can piece together that like, okay, it's possible that he's a serial killer, then that's what I'm predicting.
Okay.
Like if he's mysteriously missing, or if he shows up sweaty in scenes or something, like something's up.
hiding papers when someone walks into a room.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I'm so into that one. That's a good one. Okay, well, nice. I have some as well, and I'm going to read them to you now. Number 1 is someone does the sprain dance at the end when they were like, all right, well, everyone, I guess, do the sprain. And they were just jumping around on one foot. I think they bring that back.
If it's a clip, it doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with you. Because clips shouldn't count. And then I got a little carried away with my next 3. So I said Screech and Lisa Smooch.
Wow.
Slater.
That's carried away.
Slater and Jesse Smooch.
Oh, wow.
And Zach and Kelly Smooch.
Wow, you need 3 for 3 smooches.
Try Smooch app coming at you.
Wow. A whole trifecta of smooches.
Yeah.
I hope a different pair, like they just pair up differently.
Yeah,
I hope there are 3 smooches, but all 3 different pairs.
one character smooches one other character that I didn't list. It's all wrong.
It's all over.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What do you got, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I did also say that Screech and Lisa smooch. I think she finally just plants one on him. It's been like just really out of like exhaustion.
I mean, can I say
wore her
that?
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can I say that out of those 3 couples that I listed, and that you have one of them, I would say Screech and Lisa are the best couple.
Ooh, yeah. I think I probably agree because Zach is a douche, and
And Slater's too old for Jesse because he's a full-grown man.
yeah, but she's a full-grown woman.
Oh yeah, she is real tall.
Anyway, okay, so then I have that the conflict in this episode is that Kelly isn't going to go to the same college. Maybe like as Zach or as the crew. Didn't we say they all go to the same college? That would be the only way this works beyond high school. But I think the conflict is that she's not going to go.
Oh snap! Okay.
And that's a wedge in the like relationship with Zach.
Sure.
Then I have, this is 93. I think there's a massive cell phone.
Yeah.
Which to us would now be a comically large cell phone, but in 93 would just be a normal thing.
A large cell phone, which to us today would be like a big computer, even.
Like a comic prop. And then, so instead of graduation day, because that's a freebie. So Zach, I'll say Zach breaks the 4th wall greater than or equal to twice.
All right. Risky move. I like it. I could see him definitely breaking the 4th wall at least once for sure. So I feel like they kept that silly thing and they just did it every once in a while. Once an ep. All right. Cool. We're done. So let's watch that last episode of Saved by the Bell, which is called, the drum roll is me scrolling. It's called, Graduation is what it's called.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Also, note this episode aired Saturday in primetime. So, okay.
Oh, cool. Primetime show.
So, like that, right? Good for them. All right, cool. Well, we will see you after graduation. And we are back from the finale of Saved by the Bell called Graduation. Surprise, surprise. Jimmy, do you have a write-up?
Sure do. With graduation day approaching, Zach discovers he needs to gain 1 more credit to graduate. This results in Zach having to be in dance class and perform in the ballet to get his last credit. Meanwhile, Jessie is heartbroken when she learns another student is named valedictorian instead of her. However, she soon realizes how much valedictorian really means to Screech when Lisa wisely tells her that he puts others before him. Yeah.
Oh, that's where it ends. Okay.
Then they graduate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in the end it's then they graduate, but they did a dance off again, basically.
Yeah. So
Basically, yeah.
the takeaway is that Zach still can't dance. That's what we.
Still kind of.
I think he got worse, to be honest.
He forgot everything Jesse taught her in the pilot.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one plot with where Zach has to complete one more credit, or else go to summer school to actually graduate. Like, I thought that entire thing was gonna be a prank from Mr. Belding. I was like, no
That'd
way
be
is this a
funny.
real thing.
That'd be pretty funny.
Throughout this whole show, okay, is Mr. Belding that naive or like that gullible the whole show?
I think so.
So when Mr. Belding tells him he needs one credit, Zach devises a plan and like pays off one of the kids, Big Pete, which is a tiny skinny little boy. They pay off Big Pete to pretend like he's hurt so he can't dance, so then Zach can take his place. And Zach like swindles Mr. Belding into believing that he like knows how to dance and that he's like, oh yeah, I'll come in and save the show and you can give me the one credit. And Mr. Belding like totally buys it. And it's like, wow. You just made was Mr. Belding just a buffoon for this whole show?
Yeah. Zach
Yes.
Morris is the smartest kid at that school.
Yeah, that's the bit, is that Zach is really sly and the principal's really dumb.
Well, Zach doesn't have to be sly at all for how dumb Mr. Belding is.
Yeah. True.
It's not like anything Zach said, like a real adult would have been like, oh yeah, obviously, that's true.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think I may have missed a plot point there. So they, so yeah, Zach is gonna join this ballet show, but then all the other nerds that were in ballet got sick, so that's how they got the other guys involved. So now it's the entire main cast that's doing this ballet show. And then does Zach end up getting his credit? I think I missed that part.
Yeah, so after they finished the show, I mean, they didn't really like, there wasn't no like Zach and Mr. Belding like, you did it, Zach, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
But I think they like right after they finished, he's like, I can graduate.
Yeah.
Because they had like their like last school sitting on the stairwell kind of thing of like, aren't you going to miss this place, Zach?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I
And
think
he's
that's
like,
why I think that's why I missed it, because I think I was waiting for a scene where Mr. Belding comes in and he's like, "Ha, you actually had all the credits you needed the whole time. I just wanted to see what you would do." And then that scene never came.
That did not happen.
Yeah.
That would have been way better.
If he would have acted like a buffoon when Zach was quote unquote like convincing him or swindling him, you know, and then later on he was like, Zach, you idiot, you were gonna graduate the whole time.
You've actually got too many credits.
I would have like lost my job if I would have not let you graduate. Yeah. I mean, that's really it. After they do the whole dance thing, then they have graduation and they just kind of like, it must be how they just say, that's how they say goodbye to the whole cast. They just let them kind of like walk into the screen with Mr. Belding one by one as he like said their character name and was like, way to graduate.
Way to do it.
To all of them.
Well, like before that, they have, it ties into the other plot point where Jesse really wants to be valedictorian, but it ends up being Screech. But then Screech like secretly gives it up to her. But Jesse inevitably finds out, and so she's giving her speech, and then she calls up Screech because she says like, it's actually Screech, like he should be the one up here. And then Screech gives a speech, and he's like, actually, Zach should be up here. He's my friend.
Yeah. Let's work Zach into this. He's
Zach,
the main
you have
guy.
something to say?
Yeah, you can't just keep calling up different people.
I thought they were going to go through all the main characters, and then Zach was going to be like, Lisa, do you have something to say?
Sorry, I'm read. So
Yeah.
I've started reading about Saved the Bell, the college years.
Uh-huh.
Because they did specifically when they were all like kind of saying goodbye to each other. We're like, don't worry, like they're going like Jesse and me will be here, and Screech, you'll be across the street at the other school, and I'll be at like. Does Zach say he's going to Yale?
Yeah, he said he's going to Yale.
So he's got some like weird. So his family's got some like weird old money, then, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way a kid that has one credit left over at the very end of his like graduation year already knows he's going to Yale.
Yeah.
I mean, these are overprivileged kids, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's Bayside.
Right.
That's
right.
Bayside, baby.
So the thing is that in Saved by the Bell, the college years, it goes, it's very similar to Saved by the Bell. The plot line has to do with the 6 characters getting into trouble at the fictitious California University, or CalU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Screech says he's going to California for
yeah.
school.
Okay.
Everybody else, though, were going elsewhere in
Yeah.
this last episode.
Yeah, but it seems like
I think 2 of them said they were going to New York, didn't they?
yeah, that's what. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
So maybe Zach's con got discovered and then he got kicked out of Yale.
Yeah, I mean, because it's making it sound like they all go to CalU now.
Yeah.
So,
If I remember the college years, I feel like it's just the boys. I could be wrong about that, though.
I mean, all 6 of them are listed as starring.
Okay. Because I did read something about this season 4 of Saved by the Bell where they had filmed like half a season, including this graduation episode, and like that was gonna be it for the show and season 4. But then later NBC ordered more episodes. They ordered 11 more episodes. But Jesse and Kelly had already like moved on to other things, so they weren't going to get them back for the other 11 episodes. So they like introduced like a new like female character and like boosted up some of the other random characters.
Yeah.
So if you look,
Anne Tremco that might be her actual name.
Tori Scott is the name of the character. I don't remember the actress's name, but so like the way that they do it is it's just like weaved into season 11. Like you'll have, 3 episodes and then you'll have an episode without Kelly and Jesse and this new girl's there. And then you get them back and then, they just sort of mix them in. I also saw that a lot of the episodes from season 4 were like leftover episodes from previous seasons, even as far back as season 1. So like,
what?
Yeah. And like the characters like look vastly different now or in season 4 than in season 1. So like,
oh yeah,
right,
you'll just all of a sudden have an episode where they all look like 15-year-olds and then the next episode they're back to being 17-year-olds or whatever.
That's weird.
Syndication does weird things, man.
Yeah. No, but that was while like the show was still airing.
What? That's weird.
They just had put in these episodes. Like I don't know if they were just like, if they had only filmed a few and then when they ordered that extra 11, they like shot 9 and then just pasted in 2 other episodes. But yeah.
What if they like had to do some like reshoots and Zach's just like on his knees, suddenly very clearly older.
Like Screech is the one who looks the most different.
Yeah.
Well, he was 12.
He's
like literally twice as tall in this episode. Did anything else happen? I don't really think so.
I think that was it.
That's interesting. So Kelly, because she was like famously went right on to Beverly Hills 90210.
Mm-hmm.
Was a main person in that. But where did Jessie go? I feel like she really hasn't. I feel like she was in a lot of like TV movies and like one-off character episodes, but she was in CSI Miami for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing like, not like a leading thing like Tiffany Thiessen was.
I don't know the timeline, but Jessie was in Showgirls, and that was like her big like starring role.
I hope that was later.
It couldn't have been much later though, because I feel like that's also 90s.
I mean, I guess if she's 17 in season 1. Wait, when you say 17 in season 1, is that Miss Bliss or is that Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell. I was trying to look like what age they were in the pilot. Yeah.
Okay.
So the show ends in 93, and then Showgirls is 95.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm also not an expert in, what's her name, Jessie's career, but I guess I could Google her and see like what are the first things that comes up. But I feel like it's like Saved by the Bell, Saved by the Bell, and Showgirls.
I mean, you know.
Well, most of these people, if you look them up, is their big thing now is going to be this reboot.
Yeah.
Well, Mark Paul Gosselaar has been pretty steady, and he's
he's been in things.
He's in what's her name? Ross. Diana Ross's daughter.
What?
Blackish.
What are you
Mixed-ish.
saying?
He's in Mixed-ish. I was getting there.
Is that a TV show?
Yeah, you know Blackish?
Yeah.
The leading lady in that, who's Diana Ross's daughter, who's something Ross that I can't remember right now. He's a character in that show.
Oh, okay. Got it.
She's like blowing up.
Yeah. All in all, this was a kind of like it was like a typical graduation episode at the end, but then mixed with like maybe a little classic, seems like a little classic Saved by the Bell shenanigans at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Zach up to his same old shit.
Yeah, we went on a wild adventure with them dancing again.
Yeah, I think it just threw me a loop that the whole thing wasn't a prank. I was so sure. And then when it wasn't, I was like, what?
No, wait, seriously? This is happening? Yeah.
There was a clerical error?
Wait, did we hear did Kelly talk to Screech in this episode?
Oh my gosh.
I didn't pay attention.
I don't know that she did.
I mean,
because
like,
it still holds up, that whole thing that Kelly doesn't even know Screech exists.
Because like Lisa definitely talked to Screech, and Lisa talked to Jessie about Screech, but I don't know that there was any interaction.
They don't even mention Screech around Kelly either, do they? It gets deeper.
Oh god, it's so good.
Because even in the ballet, like Screech was like a turkey or something,
and he only danced with the boys.
Yeah. Whereas like the girls had like spots with Zach
Slater.
and Slater. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But
we're onto something right here.
The best. Even if it's not true, it's the best.
What would be the explanation for that? Is that just like Kelly just refuses to accept him as a human, or like
yeah, she has like
she just doesn't see dorks?
Yeah, some sort of I was going to say some sort of face blindness, but just for him.
Yeah, it's specifically for Screech.
Screech blindness.
Like
okay,
the first
so speaking of so Screech was not invited to this reboot. I'm not, and I assume it has all kinds of things to that. He
like,
what? Yeah.
I was saying, like, you just read specifically somewhere that it said he was not invited.
No, but I think he's the only one whose name I didn't read.
Oh, okay.
There. Actually, I don't know if Lark, is that her name?
Yeah,
Lisa?
Lark.
Yeah, let's Lisa Lark
Voorhees.
Voorhees.
She also hasn't done a lot. The only thing I know she was in a Boyz II Men music video where she's
awesome.
in On Bended Knee, and she's screaming at Wanya because she thinks he's cheating on her. Anyway, but Zach and some of them are listed in this Zach Morris's Trash show, where
What's
it's
that?
just, let me read some of the episodes. The time Zach Morris made a girl in a wheelchair feel terrible. The time Zach Morris told everyone Slater was dying so he'd move to Hawaii. It's just scenes, like clips from episodes of him being a total douche.
Okay then.
The time Zach
hey.
Morris disgraced his Native American ancestors.
Okay.
Anyway.
I don't think Kelly was mean this episode she was nice to everybody.
Thank you.
Well, so she had a bad day. I've seen 2 days of her life, and she had a bad day one of those days.
I thought she was being facetious.
No, man. Those were cutting deep, those things she was saying to Jesse.
They're good
deep.
pals. She knew she was kidding.
They're fine. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else about this show? I mean, I don't have much to say. It was fun. I want to watch this show starting in episode 2 up until Kelly interacts with Screech. And if it never happens, I'll watch this whole show. I'm just saying.
I love that.
And then I'm
can't
trying to
wait to check in next week.
And if it keeps going, I'm going to be like, does she like actually not know he exists, or is she that mean? Because then I'm going to think she's mean. Like she's going to get mean again.
Yeah, because either it's like either that, or is Kelly actually a ghost?
But everyone else can see her?
Or is Zach actually a ghost? Or I mean,
well,
Screech?
And here's the deal. We know we'll know something's supernatural or not if Kelly never references Screech, but Screech talks about Kelly to somebody, and then we're like, oh shit, he knows she exists.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
I mean, he must, because Zach's always talking about
Zach's
her.
gonna spill the Kelly beans for sure.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, should we get into predictions?
Sure.
Joe, you went first last time, so you should do it again.
Okay. Let's see. I had Jesse as valedictorian, which is true with an asterisk. Like, technically it was Screech, but she was the crowned valedictorian at graduation. Does that count?
Yeah,
No.
Mark McGuire. That's fine. We can put you in the real book.
Yeah.
Little baseball joke.
Full on point.
Yeah, give you 1 point for sure.
I said that there's a new kid that has more lines than Lisa, and I think that, like, had we seen some of those other episodes that they filmed later, like, that might have been true, but, like, definitely not for this finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had food fight, and there wasn't a food fight. And then my last one, that Mr. Belding could conceivably be a serial killer. He had me suspicious enough.
State your case, Joe.
He had me suspicious enough with the way that he was acting to make me think he was at least pulling a prank. So I guess,
Which
is
really how all serial killers start, right? It's just a prank gone
just a
wrong.
So I guess that would be my one and only clue, is that he seemed like he was acting kind of shifty. So I thought he was pulling a prank, but if he was not pulling a prank, then did he just kill somebody?
I think he was too much of a buffoon to be able to murder anybody and get away with it.
That's what he wants you to
It's
think.
all it's all part of the act, man.
Yeah, if we find out Mr. Magoo's a serial killer, then
I do love the idea, though, that if like in this like reboot, they like meet up with Belvedere and he's just like, yeah, I was just messing with you the whole time. Like, I knew you just being a douche. I just didn't want to deal with it. I was pretty checked out as a principal, and
you gotta have some fun.
I was making a cool $8 a week as a school principal. I was pretty good.
And also, you totally were going to graduate.
Yeah, 20 years later, gotcha.
Gotcha, Governor Morris.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I'll let Jimmy decide. Jimmy, does Joe get that serial killer point or not?
I just really hope that it's a bigger leap from prank to serial killer than I feel like Joe's leading us to believe.
So no.
Plus, I feel like Joe's like kicking our asses this season. So no.
1 point. All right, Joe, you got 1 point.
Great.
But I like where these predictions are going. Keep it up. You're going places, son. So my predictions were someone does the sprain dance, and I was like, oh my God, they're having a dance competition thing again or whatever. Someone's like, is Lisa gonna sprain her ankle right before the production? But she didn't, so that didn't happen.
They could have easily brought that back with the.
I know they really could have.
Ballet context.
Screech and Lisa smooch. I think that counts as a smooch.
Totally.
Slater and Jesse smooch. I feel like I was so close. So close to that one.
They were talking.
They had a moment when they were on the stairs and they were about to smooch, but they didn't. And then I had Zach and Kelly smooch. Now technically Zach got smooched by all the girls.
He did?
Yeah, during the ballet.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I would count it.
Joe's giving it to me?
I think I would count it, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I got 2 points. 2 points. Trust me, I need them this season. If anyone needs them right now, it's me. Trust me.
All right. So my number 1 was that Screech and Lisa smooch, and it was a lame smooch, but Jessie called it out that they kissed. She said that they kissed.
Oh, it was a definite. They were smooching.
It was like a cheek-to-cheek smooch, though.
But it was a love. It wasn't like just like an Italian greeting. It was like a, it was a heartfelt cheek to cheek.
Yeah. Then what did I say? Then I thought the conflict was that, that there was they did say they're not going to the same schools, but I thought that was going to be actually like the reason for the
conflict.
Yeah. So not that, and then I thought hoped there'd be a massive cell phone. Didn't see any of that or any technology.
I don't think I saw a phone. Yeah, at all.
At all. And then did not see any breaking of the fourth wall.
I saw one.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh.
No, there was 2. I'm going to say there was 2. Joe.
Was I not watching?
I remember one right at the end.
Right at the end, he turned to the camera and he said, I bet you never thought I was going to graduate. That was literally the end, almost. And then they threw their hats up in the air. That was one. And I think the second one happened was Zach was like dancing. I think it was during the play and they were dancing. And he got like, maybe it wasn't, I can't remember either. Something happened and Zach like looked into the camera. Like I feel like he looked directly into the camera and like kind of gave a little wink. I think it was when all 3 girls smooched him, but I'm not 100% sure. But I feel like that was a direct to us.
I might have to go back and check that out.
Joe, you didn't see that?
No. I mean, he might have been looking at the camera, but I don't know that counts as breaking the fourth wall if he's just looking at the camera.
Who's he looking at if he's not looking? It wasn't like he looked into the lens because he motioned towards the camera.
I think he's
with
looking.
His eyes.
He's staring at the fourth wall, but he's not breaking through it.
It's like if you look out your house window and someone's walking by on the street and they happen to look over and you meet eyes. He wasn't looking into your window. It's just that you both happen to be at the same scenario like that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's just he's looking straight forward.
The camera,
but he's not necessarily he's just not necessarily doing something that like people around him would be like, hey man, what are you looking at?
I feel like if he's looking at the camera and he starts doing some like eyes, like some eyebrow raises or something, like I think there needs to be a gesture or something at minimum.
Yeah.
How about we do this? And Jimmy, this is on you
Yeah.
to get this done, okay? Because I'm not doing legwork for your points. You have to go back onto Hulu to the point where he winks, take a 2-second video of it, and then text it to Joe. And Joe will review it and decide whether or not he accepts that as a fourth wall breaking. Because I do. I think he fourth wall broke.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
So do that, Jimmy, and you can have your full 2 points.
All right.
So if you only want 1, you don't have to do anything. But if you want 2, you got to text Joe.
I just feel like I need a win right now, guys.
Well, text Joe, dude. I'm telling you, text Joe that video. You're gonna get the win. It's undeniable.
All right.
I'm writing it down on the score sheet. Jimmy's got 1 point, 2 points if Joe confirms.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, I'm watching some more of this show. You guys know why. Are any of you interested in it, or are you just gonna let me do it? Besides Jimmy's review of the last episode.
Yeah, besides my review, I feel like this is a pretty solid way to watch this show. I think you know exactly what you're getting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And if you watched it with us and you had a good time and you're like Josh and you want to see, who's real, Zach or Kelly, or Screech or Kelly, I keep doing that. Otherwise, I think that you, personally, I think you get it. You got the gist.
But if you did watch it and you really liked it, then you know what to do.
Yeah.
You can just, I bet most of these episodes are going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
Joe, you watching this?
I'm going to look up that episode where Jesse does drugs and then just watch that one.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Are you gonna do the same drug that she does while you watch the episode to really empathize?
Just hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah, just get a 12-pack of Mountain Dew, man. Drink 6 before you start the episode.
I also hope
Crack
you
one
guys
in the
watch the Boys to Men music video.
Oh, starring Lark Voorhees?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in. I want to find where these Zach Morris is a jerk shows.
So weird. All right. Okay. That's it. We're done with this podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And I guess we'll just see you next week on another First and Last. Goodbye.
Bye.